Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
We are thrilled to be in the Valley. It's something that's been on our bucket list for a very long time.
Here at our El Centro facility, we employ 41 people.
I thought of a sort of fun question for both of you.
What are some ways that we can help with that and help and come to the Goodwill?
And so when you come to a Goodwill store, what you may not see is that each Goodwill location is a training facility. I love the story of Goodwill.
Okay, welcome to Valley Vibes. I'm Dr. Tom Tackey, the creator and executive producer of Valley Vibes. Today we have a really interesting show for you. We have Tony Giffen and Darlene Casio from Goodwill Industries to talk about their various programs and offerings. And it's just going to be a lot of fun, I think. So I'm going to turn this over to our Valley Vibes host now and allow them to introduce our special guests.
All right. Hello, I am your host, Luke Caesar.
And I'm your co-host, Soleil Cuevas.
So let's just start with introductions. Why don't you two introduce yourselves?
Well, thank you for having us here today. We're very excited to be able to share about Goodwill, not only the store and the donation drop-offs that most people know about, but also some of the really good work that we're doing in the Valley around employment services and sustainability and many of the things that Goodwill has done for over 100 years. So I'm Tony Giffen. I'm the president and CEO of Goodwill San Diego and Imperial Counties.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. I'm Darlene Casio. I'm Director of Marketing for Goodwill San Diego and Imperial Counties.
Finally, after many years, we have gotten a Goodwill in the Valley, right? And I believe you said this is around the second year that you've been here. How has that been? How has been working in the Valley? How has your setup here been going?
Well, we are thrilled to be in the Valley. It's something that's been on our bucket list for a very long time. Goodwill San Diego was founded in 1930, and we tried presence here maybe 20, 30 years ago and didn't work out for us, and I thought the time was right. I was a new CEO in 2018, and that was one of the things in our strategic plan that we really wanted to accomplish, was to get back into Imperial Valley, not only to open up a store, but many people don't know that those stores are the funders for our mission services around employment, training, development, and we felt that Imperial Valley would be embracing those services here. So we were thrilled to be able to come and find a store right in the middle of El Centro to do that. And then also to bring the availability of a place for people to bring their things that they were no longer needing and get them back into circulation. As you know, as young people, it's very popular today and around the environment and sustainability for us to reuse things and take them to the end of life and not put them in the landfills or, it's very important. Garments take a lot of resources to be produced, so we want to make sure that we're using those to the highest and best use to the end of life.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys have been in the Valley for around 2 years now. What are some ways that we can help with that and help and come to the Goodwill?
Oh, there's so many ways you can help us, but one of the most important ways is to donate to us. You can donate your clothing, your shoes, your accessories, housewares, furniture, all in sellable condition. So those donations and those purchases are how we fund our mission, as Tony was talking, a little bit about. So how can you donate? You can donate financially on the website if you would prefer to give a financial donation, you can donate at our retail store there on Wake Boulevard, and you can also have your donation picked up right from your doorstep. So on the first Saturday of the month, we pick up from Brawley and Imperial, and on the third Saturday of the month, we pick up from El Centro. So you just visit our website, ivgoodwill.org, and you schedule your pickup. We notify you 15 minutes in advance, and then we show up. So if it's something heavy, you don't have to worry about it. We'll do the heavy lifting for you.
That's great.
So you guys mentioned sort of workforce program. You want to give more details on that?
I'd be happy to. So let me give you a little background in a Goodwill store and why they exist and the mission that we provide as Goodwill, and happy to do that because we always want to make sure that people understand why Goodwill even exists in the first place. And so when you come to a Goodwill store, what you may not see is that each Goodwill location is a training facility. Primarily for people with disabilities and other barriers to employment. And for instance, the Imperial store has 98.2% of the people that work there have a disability or other barrier to employment.
Oh, wow.
Which means that they've really struggled to have a place to work and to get training and development for their future growth and sustainable lifestyle. The individuals that work there with disabilities, developmental and intellectual, come to us through the regional center. We're the first large employer that has really been accessible to this population, so we're really happy to be able to provide that here, and so is the regional center. So that's one thing that you see, that I see when I walk into a store. I see people in training, and that's exciting to me. The other thing that we have in the Imperial store is in a community employment center. And all the services in that community employment center are free of charge. And we provide soft skills training. And you may not know that 85% of people that lose their jobs because of a lack of soft skills. So they are inability to work in the workplace, their behaviors, the things that are so critical in the work. You can have the technical skills, but if you don't have the soft skills, you're not going to keep a job for very long. So we're building culture, we're building soft skills through those employment centers. We have a credentialing program there where people get a certificate once they've completed all the soft skills training and communication, how to work well together with other people. How do you speak to a supervisor in a way that you can express your own thoughts, ideas, and be engaged in the workplace? Because that's what people in the workplace today want. They want to be engaged. They want to be challenged. They want growth opportunities. So we train you in how you can do that, along with how do you best interview and some of the things that are critical today, being able to explore what are my skills. Even if I don't have specific work skills in a particular job, I may have skills that I've developed over time just in my hobbies and my activities. So we go into all of that and do a career assessment with you and help you get on a career pathway and plan. All the services are free. And our career advisors also go out into the community. So they are at job fairs and schools and correctional facilities and all the places that people need a hand up and an opportunity to be able to grow and develop. So we served over 1,100 people last year. We placed about 170 people in jobs in the community. So with the high unemployment rate in Imperial Valley, we feel those services are very relevant.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I do think about the employment rate, unemployment rates here in the valley, and you said 170 placed.
1,100 served. Yeah.
That's remarkable. That's really, really admirable. Tell us a little bit about where Goodwill originally came from. Where did it start? How did it grow?
I love the story of Goodwill. In 1902, Reverend Helms, who was a Methodist minister, saw that many people, particularly immigrants that were coming to the United States, didn't have a social structure. There weren't a lot of help, and at that time we didn't have a lot of the nonprofits and social service agencies that we have today to help people. And they were very proud. They wanted not only to get a handout, they wanted to get a hand up, and that's where that saying came from. So he would go into the inner cities of Boston, where people, the wealthier people lived, and would take the things they no longer needed. He'd bring them back to the people that he was serving. They would repair them, clean them, get them ready, and sell them, and it gave them an opportunity to work. So the power of work has always been a part of Goodwill's mission since the very beginning. And then it started to spread across the United States, and now it's in Canada and other places in the world. So we're really international. The mission of Goodwill has always been around bringing people opportunities, access to skills, workforce development, those types of things. But what's unique about Goodwill, I think that most people don't know, is that we are not a corporate headquartered, down. We are independent Goodwills. So Goodwill San Diego has Imperial County and San Diego County. And we're able to hone our services around the needs of that specific community. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. As you know, what we do in San Diego, we do differently even in Imperial Valley, because they're different places with different needs, different cultures, and we understand that. So, and North County and South County and San Diego are very different too. So we're in tune to be able to provide the services that are needed in the communities that we serve, and serve them very uniquely and with a lot of pride. And, hope is sometimes the greatest thing that we can give people that come to us. So that's where we start. If you've got just a little trigger of hope, you can do most anything. So we work very closely with people to get their confidence back and help them to get back into the workplace.
You're listening to Valley Vibes and our discussion with Tony Giffen and Darlene Casio of Goodwill Industries. All Valley Vibes episodes are available on the Spartan Sound Productions YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify, Amazon, and Apple.
So Tony kind of mentioned that Goodwill it's independent, right? It's not a corporation. So the question comes, is Goodwill a nonprofit?
Yes, we are. We're a local 501c3 organization. And what's really wonderful about that is that when you donate to us or you shop with us, it's coming back right into your community. And then, of course, if there are any write-offs associated with that, you can also benefit from that. But I think the most beneficial thing that will kind of fill you up is that opportunity to, as Tony talked about, give someone a hand up, somebody that maybe has felt overlooked or is lacking confidence or doesn't feel like there's a spot for them. Once they have that workforce development or that training under their belt, they can then go on and apply for better positions or focus on their career pathway within our organization to move up. Here at our El Centro facility, we employ 41 people, so that's also an opportunity for employment. So when you shop with us at our retail store or our outlet center, you know that you're giving back to your own community. We're also at the swap meet in Calexico the first and third Wednesday of the month from 6 to about 2. So people can shop from us there. There are definitely deals to be had at the retail store, at the outlet center, or at the swap meet. So give us a chance to become one of your regular shopping spots. And on top of all the things that we've talked about, you're also giving back to your environment by recovering these items and keeping them in use.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought of a sort of fun question for both of you. What is your favorite part of working for Goodwill? What's the favorite aspect of your job?
Oh, that's easy. I've been with Goodwill 26 years, and I know what's kept me here, and that's the people. The people that we serve are unique. They all come with their own stories. Oftentimes, they're very grateful for a job. It's wonderful to see lives transformed. That's what's at the heart of what keeps me at Goodwill and why I love what we do. We offer the accessibility and the opportunity. They do the hard work. And watching that and seeing people, take that on and not be a victim, but to, really embrace the opportunity and the chance and then take it from there and see what they're capable of is what keeps me excited.
Of course, for me too, it is definitely about the people. There's someone that works at our office. His name is Brian, and he stops in pretty regularly. He loves the sound of music, and so he'll take a minute to serenade me, one of their songs. And at first, if I was on the phone, I'd start kind of worrying about how I was going to manage. And then I started learning to say, hey, can I call you right back? Because that time was really special, and it's part of why I'm at Goodwill. So I think having those really special moments with folks that you might not meet otherwise, I think is something that we all really embrace, that we're excited about, that we, take pride in seeing them develop and sometimes leave our organization for a better opportunity and sometimes move up within our organization. And so that's a success that we all celebrate.
I'd sort of like to ask the both of you. You've both been talking a lot about Goodwill, the programs, and all of the amazing things that you guys have to offer. But I'd like to hear about how you guys started at Goodwill and what led you up to be here today.
Well, I'd like to say that I'm a Goodwill story. So if you hear my story, you're pretty much learning a lot about Goodwill. Because when I came to Goodwill, at 26 years ago, I knew nothing about Goodwill. I didn't have a college education. I came with an AA degree, and I started on the retail side of the organization as a district manager. In 6 years, there was a restructuring of the organization, and they wanted to keep me, and they asked me, what would you like to do? And I said, I've always been interested in human resources. So I went back to school for human resources. I got my certificate in human resources, and I grew in that department, starting at the entry-level job, ending up as the director of the department. And then I got the opportunity through Goodwill to go back to school because we offer scholarships and tuition reimbursement. Wow. So I went back and got my bachelor's degree. And then was also offered the opportunity to go to an executive development program, which is a master's program for executives. And I was able to do that. It was a 16-month program. After that, I became the executive vice president of the organization. We have 1,400 employees in San Diego, 30 locations. 58% of those have a disability or barrier to employment. We run a social enterprise, which means it's a business with a social component to it. So it's a big job and a big undertaking, but I applied for that 8 years ago and was a candidate along with other people from all across the country, and I had no favoritism. They made me apply, but if you see what I'm talking about, those are the kinds of opportunities that everybody that comes to Goodwill has. And I took advantage of those, and I worked really hard to be able to put myself in a position to have this job today. But that's how I started, and this is where I am today, and I consider it a tremendous privilege to be able to tell that story and to be able to give back to the organization that did so much for me.
So I started with the organization 11 years ago as their marketing director. The spot had been vacant for a couple years, and I did interview 4 times before I was offered the position. And during that time, Goodwill has also invested in me. I came to the organization with a bachelor's degree from UCSD, and with their support, with the organization's support and support from Tony, I was able to go back to school and earn my MS in marketing from National University. And so that investment in me really helped me deepen my knowledge of my craft and advocate more strongly for our organization, and especially our mission.
Yeah, those are amazing stories, really. And I think that's very relevant to a lot of people in the Imperial Valley. A lot of people see the Valley as this very small place with not a lot of opportunity, but the opportunities are here, you just have to find them. And that's why you guys are here, telling your story, telling what Goodwill has to offer, and that's really amazing. Thank you.
You are welcome. And, one of the things that I always like to talk about is that the community supports us through their donations. Those donations go to the highest and best use. So we sort those, and they'll either go on an e-commerce platform, they'll go in a store, they'll go to an outlet. So we have all those ways for people to shop from the items that they donate. But then they come around again, and the revenue from those go back into uplifting your neighbors and the people that need our services, and we're giving back to the communities. So it's a cycle where the community supports us, we support the community, and together we strengthen the neighborhoods in which we live.
Beautiful.
I wanted to add to what Tony touched on, and that is our online platform. So if you're an online shopper, be sure and check out shopgoodwill.com. You can find collectibles, designer handbags, and kind of your more upscale items are available there. And again, those resources come back locally. So we like to say that together we're making good happen.
I didn't realize that you have an online shopping function. That's really, really cool. That must take considerable work to keep updated and such, doesn't it?
Right. Well, sdgoodwill.org is a online platform that is owned by the Orange County Goodwill. So they started that over 20 years ago. There's about 130 Goodwills across the nation that put items on that platform, so it's not just local. We list the items. It's mostly in an auction format. So people,
fun.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and the consumer knows better than we do what the value is for that. So it's fun to see what we might not think has a tremendous value be bid up and purchased, and so it's a fun site to watch. It can be a little addictive to go on and put your bid in and see what happens and see what's valuable and trending at the time. But right in the Imperial Valley store, they're listing the most valuable things on Shop Goodwill, so we have a national audience as opposed to just the local audience, which helps us to better fund that store and the organization that we run.
And it would provide employment in a completely different area. I mean, into the shipping and
exactly
listing. I mean, that's the
it's
listing,
all technical
shipping.
jobs.
Absolutely, that's fascinating. And so, with donations, do all the donations tend to stay more at the local, or do they get distributed to other Goodwills?
Well, the best thing that can happen is that people in the communities around a particular store will donate to that store. Everything stays at that store, is processed at that store, and sold at that store. What's happening right now is San Diego is providing a lot of profit. Yeah, they are. They actually are. But product for the Imperial Valley store, because it's not self-sustaining at this time. So that's why we're here. We're really hoping that the community embraces Goodwill, donates to Goodwill, so that store can be more self-sufficient. But right now, San Diego is helping out. But everything that we get in San Diego and Imperial Valley are staying in San Diego and Imperial Valley.
Okay. And you've got a pretty remarkable space here in El Centro. It's the old Lucky grocery store. So your square footage is huge, I suppose. Huh?
Yes. Half of it is the retail store, and then, of course, we have a big production area where the sorting happens and the e-commerce listing and all of that happens in the back. And then the other half is our auction and outlet, clearance outlet. And that's a very fun place to shop, too, because things that don't sell in the store at regular price go to the outlet. Young people love to come and shop the bins and find all the treasures that are there. One of the funnest things that has happened at Goodwill in my 26 years is how the young people have embraced this shopping at the bins and creating their own entrepreneurial online stores and selling the product. So there's a lot of economic development that we create at Goodwill, as well as for our own mission and being able to fund that. But a lot of people are making their living by shopping at Goodwill.
That's kind of funny because a long time ago, I was a music professor at Adrian College in Adrian, Michigan, and I had one student in particular. He came from the thumb of Michigan, the thumb region, like way up in the thumb, and he would go and get those really nice wool overcoats at different Goodwills throughout that region, and then bring them down to the college. And he was making a pretty nice little extra, Hank money for himself. But he found wonderful things, brought them down, and that's cool.
Yeah, resellers are a big part of what we do, and I love the little niches that they have. Like one, young person might have old rock concert T-shirts, and that's what they sell, or vintage denim. There's just many things that they come there to collect, and I love that young people today are not stereotypically dressing. They don't all look alike. So Goodwill's a perfect place to shop for that, because you can come create your own brand and identity around the clothing that you're shopping and buying there. And that's a fun part of Goodwill for sure.
And the repurposing and the continuation and keeping it out of our landfills and such is such a big deal. It really is.
Very important part.
It really is.
So, quick going back before we end. You guys mentioned the Employment Center in the Valley. How could people go out and find that? And how does that work?
So you would jump on the ivgoodwill.com website, or .org, I'm sorry, it's .org website, and there you would secure an appointment with a career advisor, and you can either go to the facility and meet with the career advisor in person, or you can set up an online meeting, and then the career advisors are also fluent in English and Spanish, which makes it really convenient and easy to work with them.
Got it. And then to wrap things up, do you guys have any final comments for our listeners or anyone interested in maybe partaking in the employment program?
I would just say that we're really invested in the Valley, and so partner with us, find ways to work with us. If we can help you, reach out to us. We want to provide those services. Donate, shop with us, and you'll see the return on that investment.
And I just want to leave you with appreciation, because we can't do this alone. It really is a community effort. All of us together make good happen, and the community is a big part of that. So thank you for those who donate. Thank you for those that shop. Thank you for you today sharing our story and getting the word out. That's really important too. So thank you for inviting us and having us on today.
And we really appreciate that you found us and provided a wonderful show here. So gratitude goes both ways. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Most of the time on this program, you hear directly from students, their experiences, their perspectives, and what it means to grow up here in the Valley. That youth voice is the heart of what we do, but behind every student story is someone else who helped shape it. Schools don't run on schedules and bells alone. They run on people. The ones who answer the phones when families have questions, help calm nerves on the first day of school, fix schedule problems, track down lost paperwork, and quietly support students through moments big and small. Often, they're the first person a student talks to and the last person they see before graduation. So today, we're turning the microphone towards one of those people. As this longtime school secretary prepares to retire, we want to take a moment to recognize a career spent serving generations of young people in our community. This is Valley Vibes, and today we say thank you, Elena Williams.
Thank you.
Sure, Elena. So it's great to have you here, and you're retiring right now.
I am. I have one more week left, so the end of February.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. And so how long have you been at Central?
I have been here 31 years, a little over 31 years. I originally started working as a clerical assistant under what is now Educational Services. Back then it was called the Special Projects Office. And then after that, I became the school's receptionist here. Mm-hmm. And then I went to 1 year over to the district office, worked there for 1 year, and then I came back over here. So I've been the principal secretary for 25 years.
Oh, my gosh.
But in total, 31 years.
That is crazy. So actually, with your first job, that was essentially a district level job because everything
Yes.
was here, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that is just an amazing amount of time. And so what are you going to do now?
I'm not really sure because my husband is still working. He still has another 3 years. So I do have my mom that still is living and lives with me. So I'll be just spending time with
sure.
her and, taking her to where she needs. And I'll be doing some arts and crafts and hopefully pick up some other hobbies along the way. I want to try to do some canvas painting. We'll see how that goes.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that before?
No, never have done it.
All
so
right.
we'll get started and do that and give it a try.
Is there like you're just going to do it on your own?
Yeah,
YouTube?
just gonna do it on my own.
Okay, that's cool. I had an aunt that did oil paintings, and they were really pretty fun. They were nice, and unfortunately for her, she developed an allergy to the
Really?
paint when she got older.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it was kind of tragic that outlet was gone. But
Yeah.
that is so cool.
Yeah.
But for our listeners, did you grow up here?
I did not. I actually grew up in Utah. I'm originally from Mexico, and then I was adopted, and I was taken in. My parents lived in Utah, so I grew up in Utah. It's a small, tiny town named Green River, Utah, and so I went to school there, graduated from there, and my grandparents used to have a home in Mexicali, so we would drive them over for the winter because the winters were very cold
Utah
in Utah.
winters, yeah.
And this was after high school. I was in between deciding what I wanted to do in life. So one winter I came and I thought, I'll apply to do like a part-time job somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up, believe it or not, I got a job working for my principal's uncle, Mr. Jeff Lyon. So
really?
I started working there. It was supposed to be like a 2-week temporary job, and it ended up being a permanent job. So I stayed.
Was it like reception, secretarial, or what?
Yes, I was doing like a lot of typing for them back then, a lot of data entry. And so I stayed with him for about 3 to 4 years, and then I got married. We moved to Utah because my husband was working on his master's and going into a doctorate degree.
Okay.
And then he ended up getting a job with Jeff Lyon. So we came back to the Valley, and we have been here since 1994.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So what are you going to miss the most about Central?
I'm going to miss the staff. I'm really going to miss them.
Well, they're going to miss you, too.
I've worked with a lot of them for, many years. I think the longest one that's been here is Miss Schuyler. So she's been here, I think she's over 36 maybe years.
Right.
And so she's been here the longest, and so I've been with a lot of the staff for many, many years. So I'm going to miss them. Definitely going to miss them. And the classified staff, the office staff. We have a close-knit little family in the office. So I'm going to miss the girls.
Of
very
course.
Much. Yeah.
And I'm sure, how many principals have you trained?
I originally started with Barbara Oswald.
Okay.
And then from Barbara Oswald, it went to Miss Emma Jones.
Well, and Emma was here forever.
Yes.
So,
And
all
then
right.
Miss Emma Jones, we got Mr. Jeff Megan. And after Mr. Jeff Megan, we got Mr. Mike Sterner. And then we now have Mr. Craig Lyon.
Well, and fortunately for you, I guess, Emma being here as long as she was, I guess you really didn't have to break in that many new ones.
No, not too many.
Not really. I mean,
no, right. She came from, she was actually the assistant principal at Southwest for many years because when they opened, that's where she went. And then she came back over our way to become the principal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And I've always heard really wonderful things about Oswald.
She's a sweet lady. Very, very well liked. Very nice lady. Yes.
That is so cool. So tell us about your typical day.
My typical day begins with either having a lot of subs or having maybe 2 or 3. We can go anywhere between 2 to 3 up to maybe even 10 in a day. So that's the craziness of the morning, where you're spending time and trying to make sure everybody's covered. You get paperwork ready for those subs and keys ready so that when they get here, they know which classroom to go to. That's a typical day. Sometimes if there's a student that's sick and the nurse is not available, they'll go to the office.
Oh,
or
that's true.
if the Xerox machine breaks, I go and try to help with that situation. So the days vary every day as far as what really happens. It's never the same.
All right.
Every day is different.
Yeah.
So you can go from, helping a student that's sick to maybe a student got gum in their hair, and so you're trying to help them to get the gum out, to their glasses broke, so you're over there trying to fix their glasses. It's a variety of things. Or teachers, maybe all of a sudden they got a phone call that somebody in their family is sick and they need to leave, so then we need to find them coverage. So the day is very busy, and it's just constant, different stuff.
Absolutely. And the variety of people that you get to deal with on a daily basis. I mean, besides staff and
sometimes we do the parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We'll have parents that come in maybe angry, or maybe
Sure.
they just need explanations on policies or how we do things. Sometimes they want to see Mr. Lyon, or sometimes they want to see Ms. Apodaca. It just depends. So you get to experience the parents, you get to experience the students. We do get students that come in and want to speak to the principal, or maybe they just come in and want to tell you something because they want you to be the one to pass on the message to.
Sure. I mean, you are kind of a diffuser at times, and other times, it's definitely the front line.
Yeah.
Favorite day? What was your favorite day here?
Oh my gosh. I don't know that I have a favorite. I think
I don't
my
like
favorite
favorites
days,
either, but,
my favorite days I would have to say is Friday mornings when the band is out there playing.
Okay.
Those are my favorite days.
Yeah.
It's when I'm hearing the band on Friday morning cheer, and you get to feel that vibe and the spirit and the tradition.
And, speaking of the band, your son was in the band for 4 years.
He was. My son was in the band, and my daughter was in Tall Flags.
Okay.
So I was a band booster for about 8 or 9 years.
Uh-huh.
Even after they graduated, I still continued to be a band booster and help Mrs. Baker out. So that was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's, I think back, I'd applied for a job at Yuma High when I was living there, and my daughter was so mad at me. She
Really?
She didn't want me to be there. She said, "Oh, you're going to ruin, my vibe here and stuff." But,
my kids always said that too. They're like, "Do you have to work here?" And I would remind them, "I was here first, then you."
Yeah. Well, I didn't get the job, and I didn't ruin her life that way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They would always say, "Do you always have to go to all of our games or all of our field trips?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say, "Well, no, because we get assigned students, and you're not assigned to me." But they were the first ones to look for me.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to be around your kids that way. So.
It is. It was nice.
Absolutely. Well, Elena, we really appreciate all that you've done for the school. And
thank you.
And any last words of advice for us,
Not really. Just to keep smiling and keep going. And you guys are here for the right reasons. You're here for the students, and those are the ones that matter the most. And you just got to keep doing what you love doing.
Well, thanks, Elena.
Thank you.
This program was produced and brought to you by Spartan Sound Productions. Special thanks to Tony Giffen and Darlene Casio of Goodwill Industries and recent CUHS retiree Elena Williams. Thanks also to Dr. Thomas Tacky, creator and executive producer of Spartan Sound Productions, the administration of Central Union High School, Mr. Javier Fimbres, and Par 98 for hosting us, and to you, the listeners.